Okay.
Welcome back.
It's been a minute. I forgot how we start these things.
Yeah, it's definitely been a minute. There's a lot that's been going on in the world.
It's been so long I lost a lot of hair.
Where did all your hair go?
It's gone.
That's like the first thing I said to you when I saw you, because we haven't seen each other since the last recording.
Yeah, we both had a lot going on.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't bring the tissues. Did you need tissues?
No. I can just use my shirt. Just cry into my water.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to the tears. Cheers for fears. Oh, man. So, where should we go? What should we do? We think we talk too much before we start.
No, yeah, we always do that. We always kind of like just... Because we catch up.
Yeah.
But really, we took a break. It was a lot of scheduling issues. Because we live on different sides. My equipment is not as good as yours. I have...
Dogs.
Dogs. I'm pet sitting now, and so we have 2 dogs.
Should I do that?
Yeah. No, he hurt himself.
Oh, no.
It's just been nonstop, literally since September for me. And every weekend there was some kind of event. Halloween, Thanksgiving's coming up. I mean, all these holidays, I feel like the end of the year is just...
they get you.
Yeah.
It's like October 20th, it was like, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's just like... You start seeing the ads with the ding, 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 the little bells and stuff. I'm surprised the Salvation Army dude isn't out front yet.
Wow.
It just moves. It's like just the year just kind of goes and flows, and then it gets to like mid-October and everything just rips.
Yeah, I had a friend. It wasn't even that. It was like the end of September, and she was doing a toy drive already for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, we haven't even hit Halloween or Thanksgiving. Like, so it's just.
We didn't do our haunted houses.
No, and as far as like in the conspiracy world and politically, there's been a lot of stuff. You've been doing a lot of research.
Yeah,
you went in
way too much.
Went in, and Brian had to take a break. I've gone in with like a specific agenda, and then I was just like, I can't watch this anymore. But it's like horrible because the algorithm starts feeding you these videos, and you're like, oh my god, I can't escape it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have found such joy and laughter with Candace Owens. Candace Owens has brought me...
She's great.
To tears laughing, but also just, she's more than just politics. She had that, she created a docuseries.
Does she do podcasts or just like documentaries?
She does podcasts, and she did a docuseries. Well, when I first heard of her was when she did the Black Lives Matters docuseries, which I have not been able to watch.
Blew the lid off that.
Yeah, and that was great. She went viral. She's gone viral multiple times, but that's when I realized who she was. And then also when she posed with Kanye with a white shirt for Fashion Week that said White Lives Matter.
Yeah.
It was like a statement. And then on top of that, she just finished a docuseries it's called Convicting a Murderer.
Okay.
And then it's about the Netflix series, I don't know his first name, Avery's.
Yeah, I think I saw that on the screen the other day.
Making a Murderer, I think, is the Netflix name.
Yeah.
And then hers is Convicting a Murderer, because it really does, and I think that's, I guess there's so many different things going on in the world politically and like these agendas, obviously, that's all we talk about. Mm-hmm. But watching that recently with Candace Owens, it really emphasizes and just like points the finger back at the entertainment industry, because such a horrible murder case, like true crime series or like true crime event, and Netflix took that and like ran with it to make millions. And then we think about who really owns Netflix, and it's just like in that circle. You start looking at all the things like these entertainers, which we've always talked about, like Doja Cat, Sam Smith. Now Britney Spears, she came out with a memoir, and everyone's like questioning it. Like all these influencers and celebrities are being photographed with them holding the book.
Oh, really?
When it was released, and people are questioning like, why are all these influencers out and about. Paparazzi is like photographing them, reading the book on the street, holding it, and like
it's weird.
Paris Hilton dressing up as Britney Spears for Halloween, people are just like, but where's Britney? Like, she's on. She had a People magazine, or was it Us Weekly cover, because of her memoir, but apparently like she was interviewed by email. Nothing on the phone, none in person. Okay. So what does that make you think?
Why would she not want to go?
Exactly.
What is she, why is
She's not here. I don't think she's alive. I don't think she's here, or she's in a padded room.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna do an interview, why wouldn't you just want to be in the room and?
Yeah.
I mean, we sit in the same room.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just start doing podcasts just remotely, and we'll never. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, we could do emails. Just screenshot of emails.
We'll just do AI podcasts from now on. Hey AI, this is what we want to talk about. And they'll just create their own.
That's what a lot of people are saying, that, everyone's always thought that within the past couple months that AI, Britney Spears is AI. It's not really Britney. And fucking Jada Pinkett Smith came out with a memoir. Everyone ripped her apart because she is like obsessed with Tupac, saying that that's her true love.
That's right.
Totally throwing Will Smith under the bus, and then him being a total pussy and sticking by a woman who doesn't even love him. And it's just like, so for me, I pay attention to all that.
Yeah.
Britney is gone. She wrote a memoir. She's not. You have cross-dressers promoting it. You have celebrities, influencers promoting it. Why? And then she's nowhere to be found, or you can't hear her. It's all through email and direct messaging, right? Then you had Jada Pinkett Smith comes out with a memoir. Who the fuck cares about Jada Pinkett Smith? She's been old news since the long time. And like I feel like they always try to stay relevant because Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Okay, and then she treats Will Smith like crap. Everyone comes for her because of that, and then everyone also is looking at Will Smith like you're a moron. Okay, so Britney, Jada Pinkett Smith. Then we have...
Where's Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, everyone forgot about Jamie Foxx. Everyone forgot about Hawaii. No one's talking about Hawaii now.
Wow. Yeah.
No one's talking... I feel like the whole thing that happened in the Capitol, like, that's all blown over. No one's talking about that anymore.
Well, because they blew over what the riots, the insurrection we had in the Capitol about a week ago for all this Palestinian support bullshit.
No one's talking. Yeah.
Where they actually had an insurrection, the exact same type. The only difference is that the Capitol Police didn't leave so they could destroy things. Yeah, and we don't talk about East Palestine, Ohio. We don't talk about the derailments. We don't talk about the ammonia nitrate that we still don't know where it's at. That's why I had to take a step back, because it's like, dude, I keep saying that, posting here, Facebook, where this is what's good. These things are going on. This is what's happened, and nobody. Source.
We keep paying for groceries at an astronomical price.
Gas went down
a little bit. I'm sure it's going to go right back up.
Today was election day. As we record, it's election day, so
yes.
Gas will always go down as elections near, so people can say, oh, look, Democrats are really good for us. Look, we had 2 weeks of good gas prices. But the guy I listen to, the main guys keep listening to, it's not bad enough. It's just not bad enough for people to want to change.
No, it's not. It will get there, though.
The thing I didn't realize, because I didn't care, I was too young, was when Reagan won in 80, it was bad enough. I guess he won 49 of 50 states. He won New York, he won New Jersey, he won all these the deep blue states, because Giuliani won in New York as a mayor, because people are just like, enough.
Yeah.
Enough with the gas shortages and the rationing and the crime and the violence and murders everywhere and violence, and we don't know, because that's what and again, people are like, get mad at me if you're the registered Democrats, because I'm not talking about them per se. It's the leaders they put into place. They're so horrible with their socialistic ways that they're not in our best interest. I mean, no politician has our best interest at heart. I mean, I've learned that. You don't like don't like politicians. You got to pick one.
Yeah.
But
don't put your faith in them.
They hate you. They don't like you. They don't care about you. They don't care if you survive or succeed. Why else are we giving tons of money to Ukraine.
Yeah.
To now Israel and Palestine. Yep. Actually, the Palestine part just pisses me off. You're giving money to terrorist groups to destroy and eradicate Jews from the face of the earth.
And what's even worse is American people supporting.
I don't understand
Palestine. One guy on TikTok said, "I'm from Israel," and he's born in the United States. He's white. He's not any sort.
It just and it's sad because that's why
I support them.
That's why I had to step back, because it just showed people don't read, they don't care, they don't pay attention. This is just a nice new bright shiny thing that they have to get behind. They had their blackout square on Facebook. They had their, I hate to say this, their rainbow flags when that all happened. They had their blue and yellow when that happened. Now they have their Palestinian flags now. Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is, if you are supporting that, you might as well just put the Taliban flag on your profile too, or your Al Qaeda flag, because it's the same type. They will behead you the second you walk up to them and say, "Hey, look, I support. Here's your flag."
Yeah.
And then drag you through the streets and set your body on fire. And your support, Americans are so.
Yeah, we get involved in things that we shouldn't get involved in, and I've always said that because
that's why this is happening.
The fact that more money is getting sent, that money was sent to Palestinian.
Well, Israel too. Israel doesn't need it.
Right, but we sent, the United States sent money for that, and yet here we are, the American people can't afford rent, can't afford groceries. Gas fluctuates. Thankfully, it's going down for now.
It's not right now, but interest rates through the roof. You can't afford a house.
You can't. Yeah, you can't even get a loan for a vehicle without it being astronomical. Yeah. The fact that you go into a car dealership and they go, "What's your interest rate right now on the vehicle? How long have you had this vehicle? Oh, you have a 3.99 interest rate. Do not buy a car right now." Like, they straight up tell you, do not buy a car right now.
And a guy did that to me. He's like, "I got some great deals right now." I said, "Does it beat 0%?" He goes,
"No."
Yeah. He's like, "Well, yeah."
Tell you. He's like, "No, just keep your car. Give it a year." And
we'll wait till the next see what happens with the election. Is irrelevant. Our votes don't really matter much. That was my other deep dive. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what happens with the results, and if they can be, different. Because I don't understand. This is why I'm saying, why do people keep voting for the things that make them miserable? Because they're told that the other side is racist.
I'm sorry, but everything that I've seen, it's funny because, like, you have taken a step back from going down the rabbit hole. The algorithm has taken over me with Candace Owens, which I enjoy watching. Because,
did you say she gave an interview with someone?
Yes, she's interviewed. She did a very important interview with a transgender woman, and that woman told her story about how transitioning at a young age in the teens to now her being 22, how horrible it is and how her life is completely ruined. And it's just, those are the important things that people need to watch, because her whole story and just how horrible the medical industry is in regards to that, really taking advantage of those people. And yet people who are dying of and Candace Owens said this, so insurance companies are approving these, what is it called? Gender reassignment surgeries in a blink of an eye, yet cancer patients can't get the surgeries they need or the medicines they need. People are dying, and the insurance companies are like, deny. And me working in the job that I have, I see those denials. I see denials for just getting a CT scan, an MRI. They're like, we need the reason for this. We need you to try this first before we do this kind of imaging. Like, what the hell? Someone is dying. Like, they are in pain. They're vomiting, diarrhea. They haven't eaten. They've lost 50 pounds in 1 month. And you're denying the imaging?
But if they ask to get their penis cut off, you're like, oh, right. Here's your money.
Hey, you know what? I want to get my uterus removed. Let's do that ultrasound.
As a matter of fact, we're going to give you an additional $10,000 just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Here's a gas card. Go have fun.
Yeah. That's what I start collecting. So that information, these influencer celebrities popping out of nowhere with their memoirs and just being photographed doing weird things. Matthew Perry passed away.
Yeah.
Matthew Perry.
In a weird way.
In a very weird way. So I couldn't help but put my conspiracy hat on and be
I couldn't. I had to.
There's a lot of things being said about what.
Because I know he had talked about for a long time
exposing Hollywood.
Yeah. And how he's surprised he's not dead yet.
I'm really surprised Mel Gibson hasn't passed away yet with him trying to expose...
Jim Caviezel and Mel Gibson.
Yeah, and I guess someone mentioned Denzel Washington and Mel Gibson, but I don't know anything about that.
Denzel and Morgan Freeman are both on that side. The good side, I think.
Yeah, like Denzel and Mel Gibson were trying to work together to expose the areas in Hollywood. I was like, Denzel just did Equalizer 3. I don't know if he's really...
And in those movies, what does he do? He protects the innocent.
Yeah, he does.
The very first one, he protects the young girl from prostitution.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one, but I saw
the third one. It's amazing.
It's
really
my
good. God.
Really good.
Oh, and he's always protecting innocence.
Yes. And where's the other things that... I just see a lot, and I see algorithm, man, because I've been watching a lot of transgender
porn,
gay men. No,
sorry,
gay men who have the same opinion as us.
Oh, that video you showed me, right?
Like it's more of like a sigh of relief for me, because a lot of times, and I've said this before, like a lot of times I feel like, man, I feel so hypocritical because I'm gay and I'm like opposing this stuff that the community wants or like this group of people want, and it's not so much that I know what's right and what's wrong and the agenda that's being driven, but you start to see these interviews. You start to see like Jubilee. Jubilee is a liberal YouTube channel, but they allow for open discussion.
Okay.
Now, do they allow open discussion? Yes, and it's been very popular lately because they have transgender liberals, transgender conservatives come in and talking about topics. But they do cut and edit things. Right. So a lot of times it'll lean more towards the liberal side. But they do give the opportunity in small amounts because of their cuts and edits of the conservatives coming out and saying stuff. And it's so like it's really, I guess, validating, or like I say a sigh of relief to hear other people in my community. I don't even like to say community because we're not a community.
No.
Saying the same things that we've been saying. Oh yeah, and everyone wants to separate everyone, like LGB
without the TQ.
Want to like LGB and T. Yeah, no, LGB
without the TQ.
Without the TQ, but some of the T's along with the LGB, they're like making sense, like pointing out the people and the predators and stuff.
Because we've talked about this.
Yeah.
We're wanting the LGBTQI to have one common thought, mind, motive, and this is people, it's individuals, or it's agendas, it's politicians, it's pharma that tear people out of the T area and do what they want, But then there's other people like the trans person I know that doesn't care. I mean, you see videos where they don't care, and it's why it's hard. And I get it, where you're like the community. I don't want to say the community because. It shouldn't be. You don't live around. You're not living around. You have nothing to do with most of these people. You have nothing to. Your life would not change based on what someone that's gay in Des Moines. You're not the part of the same community, other than you're just a human being. You're an American. Mm-hmm. You live on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. Other than that, it doesn't matter because you're living your life, they're living their life.
That's the point.
And the point should be, how is that person treated? How are you being treated? And if you're being mistreated, there needs to be awareness. If people are being hung from rafters or burned, that needs to be addressed. But if it's just the language, the pronouns, how people are looked at, who gives?
It is
put the big boy pants on or the big skirt on.
Right.
And live your damn life and stop worrying about the community, because there is none.
That's exactly what these conservative transgender people have been saying. The whole point is to live your life and blend in.
Just
be treated equally by blending in.
And you're not going to be treated equally in general, because there's no such thing as equal treatment amongst human beings.
But there was a transgender woman who said, I know I don't pass. Pass meaning like when you get to the transition, where you assimilate basically. They identify you as a woman. That means you pass. But like there was one transgender woman who was like, I know I don't pass, but that's not my problem. That's something I have to work on. And she was like, and when she said that, I was like, yes. I was like, see, they take the issue that they have with themselves and they put it on everyone else. And I'm talking about everyone, not just transgender people, like everyone, all these kids that are like in college learning about gender studies or like learning about all this political science stuff, but they take emotion versus logic, and they just throw it, and that's the facts. That's the facts. That's the reality. That's the truth. And it's not my experience, the way I feel, what I went through. That's life. And it's like, fact. No, that's your experience.
They say that's
it's
fact,
different from everyone else here. And that's what bothers me. It's so, and everyone, and I hate that I say this, but I'm like, before, I think if you asked me months ago, I would be like, I hate that I say this. But now I'm like, I don't care. The conservative side is winning, and the conservative side is logic. And I'm not talking about extreme conservatives, but the conservatives that I watch, so many liberals have converted to the conservative side because of this BS nonsense. Like, I'm emotional. I have, and I'm just, like, I just posted a video on Facebook, and I don't know why I did it, because I know no one's going to react to it.
Right.
No one's going to see eye to eye, or if they do, they won't say anything.
They'll never say anything. Never.
This girl got pulled over. She's a girl. She's a woman. She got pulled over because she was driving weird. The officer pulled her over, and he was like, ma'am, and she goes, I'm non-binary. Please call me they, them. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll try to remember that. Totally patient cop. He basically asked for her ID and everything. And he, again, said, ma'am, and she goes, I told you, I am they, them, and I have social anxiety. He's like, what are you doing tonight? Like, where were you? How many drinks have you had? Because I smell alcohol. I just had, like, one drink.
Oh, done.
Yeah, so then he asked her to get out of the vehicle, and then she's like, I have social anxiety. She's like, I have PTSD. I'm triggered because you keep calling me ma'am, and and I'm like, where's all this emotion? You have PTSD? You've been in the war?
There's no diagnosis necessary.
Something happened to you? And then she's like, I'm also indigenous, and I was like, holy mackerel. So non-binary, PTSD, social anxiety, I'm indigenous, you call me by the wrong pronoun, I am triggered. So that's 6 excuses I can use so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Because that's what we're taught, is to throw out as many, like the istophobic.
Because
that'll shut the person down.
Yeah, that's going to allow me, and that's law.
Because the cop, as a cop, you don't want to be called anything, because somebody might, look at you, you're a istophobe.
Yeah.
And that's why the conservative side, which it's called conservative, people are like, it's so evil, so it's like, it's a conservative way of looking at it. And it's like, that's why the guy I listened to, is like, the reason why these agendas are falling apart, the liberalistic and socialistic and the pronoun, they're becoming cannibalistic, because they're starting to eat each other alive in the social media, the influencers, because the conservatives are like, I don't care. I don't care. And so they have no one else, because they can't fight them now, so they're fighting amongst each other, just grabbing random people to say, oh my gosh, I'm whatever, because we have to be
and it's like no one said,
and we have to be so unique. I talk about this guy at work. It's like everyone's trying to have, like, they have this unique. Everyone's unique. You don't understand who I. It's like, bitch, whatever you are, trust me. There's thousands like you, everywhere, all over the place. No one. Newsflash. Camera. No one's unique. None of you. The only thing unique about how you live is how you act and how you respond and how you put yourself off. That makes you what you have. Your ailments. There's PTSD. I hate that. Whatever it is. Believe you aren't the only one. I mean, there's like rare diseases, like house style disease, Dr. House style diseases that you go, I got something rare. No one's rare, but they all want to be. And so when they find themselves in a situation, they're cornered, or they get caught doing something, then it's, oh, you don't understand. I am this, I am that, and we're all supposed to be like, oh, okay, hey, here, have 10 more drinks, and then here, take off down the road.
You're free to go.
Let me get you a 30-pack for the road. Yeah, I have a handle of vodka in my back seat. I mean, or is that the fire water not good because you're indigenous? I don't know what to think.
Right. I guess
I missed that video. I would have.
I'll send it to you. Okay. I'll send it to you, but I didn't want to because you're trying to
Yeah, it's just.
And for some reason, I'm consumed now by these videos and interviews and stuff, and it's just nice to see that everyone that I do watch, they're logical, and they always say that use some common sense. And Candace Owens and Brad Palumbo is always talking about emotion. No, not Candace Owens, but she talks about logic and critical thinking, and she really digs deep. She digs into the psychology of things too.
That's her background.
The home life, how they were raised, and I'm just like, man, she makes so much sense with some of the things she says.
So, but her interview, as you got sidetracked.
Yeah. So she did an interview with the transgender person, which was great. Everyone needs to see that. She also did an interview. She's actually been invited to a podcast called Whatever. And they have...
I guess they're more popular.
I guess they have sex workers on there. They had sex workers on there.
Where's my phone?
Yeah. And we've had, I think, several episodes about sex workers, the porn industry, and... I
think when the OnlyFans thing happened, I think, wasn't it? And the Bella Thorne.
With the mom, yeah, Bella Thorne, and then the mom. The kids were expelled from school for having OnlyFans.
We've talked about it, yeah.
So, it's, I don't know, and it sometimes, I heard a saying recently, and it was presented this way, that when you reach certain ages, your views start to change, or like what you accept or allow changes as you get older. And I think maybe that's why. Because Candace Owens is very open to saying, when I was in my 20s, I did stupid things, but I accept it. I own it. I'll never be like, oh yeah, I didn't do that. Right. I did it, but I have grown from that. And like now she's a mom, and now she's pretty popular and like politically, and now with the crime docuseries. It's funny how things do change, because we were very like, do what you want, OnlyFans, as long as you're not publicizing it to kids, like this and that. But she digs in deep into this world, and her being in that podcast, she was talking to OnlyFans women who are, I mean, the word, I don't like it, but it's what they are, prostitutes in the Bunny Ranch in Vegas. Yeah. So it's a brothel. It's a legal brothel.
It's It's not Vegas.
Nevada.
It's in Nevada. I think it's up in Carson City. I think it's north by Tahoe. Not that, I mean, I just watched a movie once.
Well, and normally I wouldn't care. I'd be like, whatever. That's
actually, I think remember HBO Real Sex? Remember that series?
It sounds familiar. But
I believe they did an episode from the Bunny Ranch once.
Okay.
That's how come I knew about it.
Well, I know we hear a lot about like Lamar Owens, is it, or one of the Kardashians' ex was caught
Lamar
there.
Odom, yeah.
Odom, yeah. See, I'm horrible with names.
Basketball.
But
you wouldn't understand.
But, yeah. But he, this lady from there, she was saying she's a sex therapist and she saves marriages because she sleeps with the husbands. And I was like, wait a minute. A sex therapist doesn't sleep with people. A sex therapist is actually there to help you
sleep with each other.
Yeah, sleep with your partner, like understand what's the issue sexually. Yeah. They're definitely going to be more involved. Like they may be like, I don't know. I haven't researched it, but I know that they're more, I don't want to say hands-on because they're not like there. Mm-hmm. Say like, hey guys, do this, do that.
No, they try to break down the reasons why intimacy is stopped.
Yeah, and they may suggest things and like
give them
tell
projects
you,
and stuff like that.
But
spice it up.
Sleeping with husbands because it's saving marriages, and that's your title, sex therapist. And so Candace Owens was like, no, you're a prostitute, and that's no longer a marriage because you're allowing people in. And then these girls were like, well, like, what about open marriages? Or what about, like, you want a threesome? And so Candace Owens, I give her props, man, because she just...
Oh, yeah. She doesn't get emotional. Yeah.
No, but she doesn't, like, she may make a face like, wait, what? Like, because people are saying wrong information. Like this one lady, she brought her actually into her podcast, and she started talking about how, like, Jesus approved of prostitutes, and like Jesus, like in the Bible it talks about accept prostitutes,
because he didn't judge her as being a prostitute.
Right.
Yeah.
So she would go like this, and she'd like really try to hide, like she wanted to laugh, but she was like, and like to keep her composure, right? Like I really give her a lot of props, especially when people attack her and like really try to rile her up. She keeps her composure. And so I give her props for that, and this one girl just went off on her, and she's like, and I couldn't help but shout while I'm watching this, like, girl, you are projecting so much right now because you have issues.
Yeah.
You are so defensive. She hasn't even said a word yet, and you are so defensive because you know what you do, you feel bad about. You feel guilty.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't care. I'm going to get married one day, and, like, my husband's going to know all about it. And, like, and so Candace is like, but one man would want to marry you. Like, not as an insult, but she's like, realistically, you're in your 30s. And, like, she breaks it down, and you're like, man. And then I started thinking about women nowadays, like, the whole dating world, the dating scene, these apps, one-night stands after one-night stands, ghosting, all that stuff. But this is how our society is. Yeah. And it's so perverse. But
no
this perversion, right, has, and I hate to say perversion because I think everyone's sexuality is it's such a huge world, but there are things that go really far, like what, you know, but I mean, it's whatever everyone, I hate to say that because I understand her point. Like, it is perverse, and we are so desensitized because we could literally watch a TV show and they're having sex in the series or, like, in the episode, and we're like,
I was watching a new anime before you got here, and it's like, I'm not used to watching anime, and it's like, oh wow, they're having sex right here in the anime, and it's like this animated sex. I'm like, and at first I'm like,
yeah,
oh, okay, where's my lotion? And then I'm like, wait, this is weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
everywhere. We are so desensitized and like,
and we're so unhappy. Like I said, people with, because we both know, like, remember we did the interview with the poly, and then, you know, and how there's people out there just wanting to just have other people join threesomes, and it's like, why aren't you happy with just your own relationship? This is different than just, I have, you know, an itch I didn't scratch or whatever like that. There's like, no, because you now have this, and I don't get it. And yeah, if she's a Bunny Ranch person thinking some dude's just gonna
sex therapist.
No, she's an escort, and some dude's just gonna want to scoop her up once she's used up and done, and can't, you know, because once they get a certain age, you're gonna be gone. Mm-hmm. They only have a certain shelf life.
She even said that she related it to as a sport because it's a physical activity. And I guess these girls have like 5 to 10 clients a day. So like you're literally having sex all day. Like, and I think that like really affected me. Like, damn.
I think I never wanted to even think about it because I guess it's just as a man you don't care either, because if you're going there just to satisfy whatever need you have. Mm-hmm. I could never like to go in a situation knowing this girl's gonna be bored out of her freaking mind. And she's just going to be doing whatever she can to get me out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, according to her, she said it excites her, and then all these guys come in and they want her, like, young, hot guys, and then Candace was just trying to tell her, like, don't you think maybe that some of your clients are obsessed with sex, like they're sex addicts?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, no, because they have it. She goes, so you're telling me none of your clients are sex addicts? And she's like, well, it's just not... She's like, well, they don't tell me that. She's like, so an addict is always honest? Yeah. Like, her ex-husband was an alcoholic, and he never admitted he was an alcoholic.
Every addict lies.
Yeah, so I think she was just trying to, like...
And I don't like absolutes, but I'll say that. Every addict lies.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And so, I think just that perspective, and she did mention this, and I was like, damn. Is the porn industry. She did a whole interview with like a couple of people in the porn industry, and how one of them became a pastor, and like how drug addicted they are, and like how unhappy they are because they do drugs because of the things they have to do, and like, you know, who they're sleeping with, how many times a day, and like all this stuff. And it's just like, we don't see the side of that because we see the entertainment side. Like, ooh,
you see the finished product.
What is this? Oh wow, I didn't know we could do that with another couple, or like we do this and that. And it's so sad. And then Candace went into that world and found out that a website like Pornhub can be advertising a porn star, but the person next to it, the other woman next to it, maybe the other woman three rows down, is actually a victim of human trafficking.
Yes.
Like that. So
Pornhub
human trafficking is mixed in with porn. And then as soon as she said that, I was like, fuck, I can no longer.
Sex trafficking and minors.
Yes. And that's what she was saying. She's like, so I refuse to like. She's like, once I learned that, she's like, I no longer will say anything like do what you want. You're porn. Yeah. She's like. Absolutely not.
You're promoting
this is human
an industry
trafficking that involves human trafficking.
Did you find? I tried for a moment to dig into the Pornhub scandal. I couldn't do it.
No, what is it? What are you talking about?
Trafficking's a lot of it, and it's a lot of the other countries, and these women that are in basements and in these warehouses, and they have their little cubicles they live in. And there's no one checking their ages or where they're from. They just kind of are there, and they have a bed, and they have a blanket, and they get some food, and then they go on cam, and they do their thing, even if they're solo.
Yeah.
But still, they're sitting there in front of guys who are giving the site money to see them strip and do stuff to themselves. And even when they try to get certain sites cut off, they're backdooring it and getting it backdooring. They were getting it back on. I didn't dig too deep because I couldn't. Because sometimes it's like, this is insane.
It's
because
really...
they will do anything and everything to exploit these young kids just to get rich.
Yep.
And the girls get used up and then tossed out on the street. They're drug addicted. A lot of them are suicide victims. It's.
She did mention that one girl that you brought up and we talked about on a previous episode that she got kidnapped in the stadium.
Yes.
She talked about
Dallas,
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She said that's why. Once she learned from that lady who became
they probably filmed her and everything.
Yep. Yeah, she said she will no longer, like...
Filming a 16-year-old, 15-year-old. They ever even had, like, scat videos, rape videos. There was videos of them torturing these girls. There was even reports there was some of the girls actually died filming. Mm-hmm. And then people would report, and they would pull and then just re-traffic it into another search engine, another part of the algorithm, and it's just because people were constantly clicking on it and wanting to see it because that's disgusting
the
appetite.
That we become dehumanized.
If there was no market for it, no market for it, it wouldn't be an issue. If people were just like, I just want to watch two people over 18 doing different sex acts, men and men, women and women, all kind of groups, okay, it's still not a good. It's still an unhealthy.
Yeah.
For those of us watching and for them producing, but at least it's all adults.
Yeah, but
when you get into the trafficking part, and now that seriously, as a guy in my 50, it's like, watched porn. I'm not going to deny, but to know that I might have contributed at some point to a site that did trafficking it's sick.
Yeah,
it makes you, and that's why I get so frustrated because we do these things, video podcast, to bring awareness to people, and then it's like. Oh, well, I don't care. Source.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? So this is all out there. There's docuseries, there's whistleblowers, there's Candace Owens just did this. There's not just her, there's others. And this is a well-known thing, just like with pedophilia and entertainment. Yep. Mickey Mouse Club people. There's the rich people politicians using all these kids, now to find out Obama basically had a revolving bathhouse. And when he was there, it was I like him. Why? Why would you be okay with this? If it came out now, it's okay. If you voted for him, you didn't know. But we won't condemn. We won't do anything. People just, well.
I think she even has an episode where she says Obama's gay.
Yes.
Because someone
that's out now.
And said, came out and said that he
it's out now.
Drugs and did stuff with Obama. But we're okay with it.
Well, his own writings from back before, before he was even set, I think he was in college. He dreams about being with men. It's the chef that died that no one talks about. Yep. He was going to do a tell-all. Mm-hmm. So either he was one of his lovers or he knew about it. Probably he knew about it. So this big-ass dude who does videos of him swimming drowns mysteriously with another person, and no one ever says anything about it ever again.
Right.
Because Maui hit. Oh, well, we got to pay. Oh, no, Ukraine. Oh, Israel. Oh, that's why they want these wars. Because one, it's tons of money. Because now Vanguard and Chase and all these, now they can bid to do the cleanup for these countries, and they can make tons of money on the re-infrastructure and like with Ukraine, Vanguard and what was the other one? BlackRock. Yeah. They both bid to get into the post-war effort. It's like, and then we don't pay attention. Like I said, we don't pay attention. Full circle with this episode is anything. East Palestine. There was a mushroom cloud that was set off in that city. Toxic everywhere. water levels were off the charts. President nobody showed up. I think the transportation secretary showed up for a second. Donald Trump shows up and he's mocked for showing up. It's like, at least somebody showed up.
Yeah.
And then the only people that show up to Maui are The Rock and Oprah saying, give us money.
Yeah.
It's like, and then again, we talk about this and people are, okay.
But
it's Thanksgiving. I got to worry about my Thanksgiving dinner, and Christmas is coming. I got to buy presents for the kids, and I just don't have time to care. I got soccer games. I got baseball games. I got, a new living room set I got to buy. I need a new bed.
But it also comes to the point where it's like you hear things, but no one does the research to it. Like this whole docuseries that Candace Owens did on Netflix about this Netflix series that everyone was like, oh my God, and like signing petitions to release this guy who's a serial rapist and a criminal. He has a rap sheet and he has a horrible family life. That whole family's fucked up. And like, these people are still on his side that he needs to be free. The evidence is right there. You literally could go in the court docs and look at everything he has done wrong, all this stuff, and people are so like, he should be free. What is it? The due process, like a just, fair trial, and like this. Are you serious right now?
I think it's funny because they're always crying for that. He needs his due process. He needs just but then when it comes to the Orange Man, we don't need any of that. Yeah. No trial, no due process, no discovery, no rule of law, no nothing. Just he's just guilty. But that guy who's guilty as sin, or anybody else. Free him.
And it all ties down again to emotions, because that Netflix series was to really entice people. And I really think about it. So like, it's these little flags that pop up. Like I was saying, the memoirs of these celebrities, one that you can't even talk to or anything. Then you have the celebrities that pass away. Then you have all this social war, political wars in other countries, and then you start to realize when you watch these interviews and you watch these like debates, how people, they start going into the background of people. Like there's this one transgender woman that kept being such a annoying little person that it's just, she just needed to shut up, and she wouldn't. And then she started throwing the race card and this and this and that, and like, you don't know my experiences.
Here we go again.
And I was like, again,
unique.
We're dividing and separating here. When you're supposed to be like all talking and be on the same page, like you are all transgender, but you're throwing the black card, you're throwing this, you're throwing that. And then you find out, one of the transgender women pointed out in her own podcast after that, her reaction with that whole show or debate, she said, let's talk about you. She's like, you're a black transgender woman, which is what she kept saying. I'm a black transgender woman. You better listen to me. Don't interrupt me. This and that. And I'm like, really? And so everyone was like, really? And so she said, let's talk about you. She's like, you've been to the White House? I haven't. She's like, I have more. The girl's name is Blair. She went viral. She has like 1 point something million followers on YouTube. And then this other girl, her name is Blossom. She's a black transgender woman that you need to let her speak because she's black transgender. So
there's nothing else to her but just that.
Right. So she has been to the White House. Blossom has been to the White House. She has been on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Blair has done none of that. She's never been invited to the White House. And then Blair says, you also received a full ride from the Ellen show because you're transgender. And so when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, are they planting these people into social media, into the entertainment industry, into these debates to go throw those wrenches and get everyone riled up, get everyone emotional? Here we go with the black card again. Here we go with your privilege. Because she kept telling everyone, you are all privileged. And Blair is like, me privileged? You don't know anything about my childhood. I came from the slums. Like,
and they're all transgender. How does that privilege?
And we're all transgender. Yeah, we are not privileged. And so that kind of shit is the flags that get me. And I'm like, so we're doing all this stuff. We all know it's distraction. But that's how they incorporate people. They have this one lady who's Blossom. She's been on every goddamn podcast since Jubilee. right? And saying how she was victimized and how she was blindsided, and then people are pulling receipts like, we told you all about it. Look, you said, okay, perfect. I'll be on your conservative podcast, this, and that. Yeah. And then she's going to another podcast. I was blindsided by the conservatives and all that. And it's like, at what point do you, like you said, do people go...
She's an actor.
What is going on?
It's just
how does that make sense?
To push whatever it is that's being pushed, because the trans thing is so important to push.
Yeah.
And the division, I know we've talked. We know why the division's important.
Yeah.
We know.
But even people are saying, when are you going to stop dividing?
Never, because those paychecks are going to keep
together.
Coming. It's not about it's not about actual humanity to them.
All these countries are coming into the United States. All these terrorists are coming in and dividing us even more. Like this whole Israel-Palestine thing, that is another fucking red flag that everyone's all like, I'm here for Israel, I'm here for Palestine. You let that stuff happen in the Capitol without a blink of an eye. Like, everyone's like, oh, they're fine, they're not terrorists.
And it was that congresswoman that called for it. The one that Obama put in place.
I think it's so funny that...
She put her in Michigan, and then put all those migrants flood into that district in Michigan. She was elected. She got put into place. The other one, same thing, and then married her brother.
And you have AOC in there, too.
Yeah, they've all been put in place.
But that one that called for the Capitol, and she was like up there in the balcony, everyone had an issue with her when she took that seat, because where is she, in the Senate? I don't even fucking know where she's in the House. Everyone had an issue with her because she took that seat. They were being, I guess you could say, racist. But
no, they're not. It's legit.
No, it's legit to be concerned to have someone like that.
Because where they found her money coming from.
Look at what she did.
Look where her money came from.
But look at what she did. Yeah. And we have to go, oh, it's okay, they're emotional. They're upset. This is where...
She ain't upset.
This is the main conclusion. That emotions, being upset, gets you anywhere. So...
Even when it's not legit, because she ain't upset about anything. This is what she was put into place for.
That's what I'm saying.
Her money comes from Iran.
These people, if you haven't figured it out yet, like, that's weird. Like,
and why is it that the moment on 9/11, our illustrious dementia-riddled president,
who was there,
unlocks, and I don't want to hear anything about how no one's touched the $6 million. He unlocked Iran's money that Obama wanted to give them, finalizing that plan, and then what? A month later, on October 7th, they use it to attack Israel, and then start this division, this war, and getting you Americans sitting out there to back the Palestinians. I don't understand you people.
No,
I don't. And when I see it, and I've seen a few people that I know and respect, and I saw them post on Facebook, like, you are obviously the most uneducated people. You don't care. You read your CNN article and said, oh wow, they're occupying, they're colonizing. It's so stupid. You're backing a terrorist organization who wants to get rid of every single member. The whole World War II, Hitler, Nazi Germany thing again, which I hate comparing things to, but that's what these people want to do.
You didn't know? Like, there was
something. So you liberals, just so I make sure before you start your point, you're okay with the Jews being eradicated, but you're not allowed to say anything anti-Semitic. I'm lost. Take over. The hypocrisy is just... My head would spin 5 times in a row if it would mean I'd, crack my neck and die.
People don't realize that what's going on is socialism, communism, and Nazism.
Marxism.
Yeah, it's all happening, and people are like, no, we need equality all across the board. Be like, no, what you're doing is feeding into this propaganda, and no one sees it.
It's like the George Floyd autopsy comes out, and then
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, there's no asphyxiation. There was no strangulation. He didn't die that way. He died basically of fentanyl and drugs in his system. Give BLM more money.
For what? They don't even help the community.
Because you're racist if you don't.
No, you can call me racist. It means nothing to me anymore.
I thank you.
It means absolutely nothing.
Thank you for calling me that.
Racist, transphobic, homophobic. Means absolutely
nothing. I'll take
them
all. And that's what I'm saying. For the people who've woken up, the conservative side of the line, even the moderates that finally are seeing what this agenda is, what the whole point of the cancel culture, all that crap, the PC movement, even as I hate to say it, the Me Too movement, which was another form of
Me Too and Time's Up.
Yeah, and everything was all that just slow march to 2030 for the complete destruction of what we know as society.
It's so funny because these people on YouTube, again, they're conservatives, liberals who have transitioned to conservative now because of all this bullshit that we're talking about.
Once you wake up, you transition.
Yeah.
Because conservative is the middle, I believe. It's not Republican.
Well, if you go back
conservative.
in history, conservatives are the one that was trying to get equality for everyone.
Everybody.
But now they say it's Democrats, but really it's not.
It's not.
Because if you pay attention to what the Democrats are doing, they're trying to separate and divide everyone.
They voted against
and yet they
everything.
think that's what the conservatives
they didn't
are doing.
want to abolish slavery. They didn't want the Civil Rights Act.
The conservatives
that's why the liberal-led CIA tried to get MLK to kill himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
They fought against women voting. They fought against everything.
And yet so many subscribe to that.
But they control the narrative. They control the papers and the entertainment industry and now the internet and social media, and that's all. You don't need truth. You just need influencers.
As soon as I heard that Blossom Chick was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, got a full ride scholarship, she went to the White House, and here you have this other one who is more educated, more influential. I was like, this woman has been bought.
She's just more charismatic, I bet.
She is being thrown into all these things so people continue to feed on this nonsense. And in this Jubilee debate, this is one of the most ridiculous things. Like, if you sit there and you don't go, what? You're lost. You're completely lost. You're a zombie, you're sheep, whatever. This transgender man said, on the topic of should minors be allowed to do sexual reassignment surgery?
Gender
affirming
surgery.
The
way they hide it.
Right.
Gender affirming care.
Gender affirming care. So
even though I didn't think your genitals identified your gender, but yet removing it, whatever.
I'm not even going to get into it. It's ridiculous.
And more hypocrisy, BS.
But this transgender man said, I think they should be allowed because we need to change. If in some states the age of consent is 16, 17, and they're like, he was like, if you really, because of course the conservatives like, that's vile. How could you allow someone to mutilate themselves like that? They're a child. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand. Like, hello. And so then this transgender man said, at the age of 16 in California, you're allowed to drop out, and that's a life altering, because the conservatives are like, this is life altering, and they're like, you could drop out at 16. That's life altering.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
How can you compare that?
Okay, let's say it's
10 years from now you get a GED and you're
Is it life altering? Yes, because without your high school diploma, it's hard to get a job. Hold on. Okay. It's hard to get a job. Sorry. It's hard. A lot of these companies require a college education, which is a waste of time. I don't ever push for college education anymore. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of making money, getting yourself into debt, and letting the government win, basically.
Let's do a trade school.
And so that's life altering. I mean, financials, your life, you're depressed because you dropped out of school. So you can do top surgery and bottom surgery. That's fine. That's life altering, dropping out of school. And I was like, hold up. GED can bring you back into society to be a working class citizen.
And you can get jobs without it.
And you can get jobs. And then going to jail is life altering. You could be a minor and commit a crime. That's life altering. But guess what? You have consequences with that. But at the same time, you could be in prison, get a GED, bachelor's, master's.
You could get you
could get a PhD, and you could work for the state.
Yeah.
So, again,
they have no logic.
Benefiting.
They have no logic to their arguments.
You are comparing apples, oranges, and bananas, and then throwing watermelon, cantaloupe,
and a pineapple.
And then a tomato, potato. That's what you're comparing.
And a cheese pizza.
And a cheese pizza.
Because it's a minor, get it?
But
the pedophile code.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs and cheese pizza.
But
for you unawake, forget it.
Yeah, it's just I don't.
And that's why I don't get, because
I couldn't believe he said that.
These people make no logical arguments.
No.
They have no science, no facts, no data. They just yell real loud.
Yeah.
They're better performers.
And don't come to
and
me
the liberal
saying,
followers just eat it up, saying, listen to these transphobics. They don't believe it. It's like.
And these people say they're advocates.
Stupid.
And I'm like, you're not an advocate. You're a troublemaker. And you're throwing out lies.
You're an enabler.
In the previous Jubilee debate, this one guy said it was gay conservatives and gay liberals, so gay men. And one of them said...
Well, gay's not a gender, so I'm glad you qualified that.
well...
You know me, I hate gay is not a gender, you know me.
Whatever. So, they one of them was saying, well, there's all this research and, like, how people want to detransition is too young. Well, that whole shenanigans, whatever. They were talking about facts, research, papers, articles. And then this liberal man said, that is a lie. We have facts. We have it. And he starts quoting stuff from pharmacies, like pharmaceutical companies. And I was like, are you fucking serious? The pharmaceutical companies are not here to help us. They're here to make us more sick, be addicted to the medication, buy more medication. And you're fucking telling me, like, oh, yeah, that's a fact. It came from the pharmaceutical company.
They just give you the fact of there are drugs to maintain you.
Yes.
But the facts are your psychological damage is like infinite times more than the hole in your body that means nothing, that you have to keep dilated and open for the rest of your fucking days.
And do you know that with that interview at Candace Owens, I'm telling you guys need to go check it out.
They won't.
It's
sorry, that was me.
No. But the information you get,
I know.
Like, because everyone's like, oh yeah, gender.
You mentioned the word Candace Owens. The liberals already tuned out.
Okay, look at any interview that someone talks about their transition.
I know.
Any interview, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care who you go on. Just listen to what this person has to say. I learned the horrendous things they do for bottom surgery.
That's insane.
And the fact that we allow this, even for adults, I'm like, this is a huge
Other
risk.
countries are starting to stop it, but America will just keep going.
Stopped it.
Yeah, but America will keep going because we're the one they're trying to destroy.
Exactly. And that's what she said.
They already got Europe.
They said.
They got Europe the other ways.
There is 3 ways to do bottom surgery. One of them is called the miracle way. And it's really not a miracle. It's the most painful and the most non-functioning, like, failing thing. Even the fact that colorectals, because I'm going to tell you how it is. So it's for a man to become a woman. It is... There's 3 ways to do it. The miracle way is they go into your stomach and take the lining of your stomach to create the tissue that's needed to create a vagina opening.
A hole. There's no vagina.
Right.
Because no pee passes through. You can't. Yeah.
Oh, and how they have to basically take your urethra and cut it. They have to cut it in half because now it's shorter. Yeah. Because you don't have a penis anymore. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then the horrifying things of, like, how that gets infected. It stops working. It, like, you have pelvic wall starts falling. It's not really... Yeah. I mean, I associate that with being a woman. Like, you have the uterus and stuff like that. But pelvic wall is falling, scar tissue, all this stuff. And essentially your hole becomes no more. No more? And you can't dilate. You can't do all this stuff.
It's not like you can do anything with it anyway.
And supposedly, no doctor tells you anything about that. But the fact that you can get it approved so quickly with insurance and move forward with this with no questions asked, and I guess it's like a newer surgery that not many people have done, and, like, the success rate is really not that high. But then there's the colorectal one, where they take tissue from your colon. It's a graft.
That's how that kid died.
Yeah, and so with what happened to that girl, how it failed, and she basically has nothing. Yeah. The doctor that did this said, go to this doctor, and then they'll do it. We'll have to redo it, but we'll need tissue from your colon, the graft from your colon. She went to 2 colorectal doctors that he recommended, and they said, we will not do this. Not good. It will happen again, and this is torture. We will not sign off on this, and we will not do it.
What is the point? What are they trying to do?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that
you have to have a hole in your body to be a woman?
Thank goodness for these specialists saying no. Yeah. Because thank God there's still some medical people out there that stand by the book that says I'm here to help and heal people.
That was their oath.
Yeah. And and so it's like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that we're pushing this, and you want a 5-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 3-year-old to go through this?
No rational person, and if they actually researched it, would ever support this.
And even but it's always the men. Because the women, you don't hear about the women. The women have to cut skin off their arm.
Because it's a demasculization of the society. It's obvious.
Right. But no one says, we're talking about more about men than women.
Just like the sports thing, it's never, this woman wants to play, ball with the men. No. Never. The women who actually want to play ball with men are women. like the field goal kickers, the stuff like that.
Yeah.
The women, I want to play football. They're like,
Rugby.
I'm a man. I'm a woman. I just want to play with the men.
Yeah.
It's a gender-filled city. You and I know this. People who pay attention know this. Unfortunately, there's just.
But that's what I'm saying. No one goes and finds the information. It's all emotional. It's all
But
hearsay.
the left is the party of facts and science. So why aren't they paying attention?
I don't know where they're getting their science.
They don't have any fucking science from climate change to gender anything. No. And they put a nice little label of gender affirming care on it and say these Republicans are taking away your right to gender affirming care. And you slap that label, and so the lefties are at home going, "Oh my gosh, they're so bad. We can't abort our babies at will, and we can't change." We can't take away people's penises. They're such horrible people. Get rid of them. And you're like, wait, what, huh? They're looking to protect life and protect those that are alive to being tortured and dying from having their genitals removed. And they're the bad people?
Yeah.
Wait. Did I miss something? They're the bad people?
Yeah.
They're the Satanist demons? Yeah. And they want to make sure that there's Jews still on the planet. And they want to make sure that we don't starve ourselves out in our own country. They want to make sure our vets are taken care of, make sure our air can be breathed, our water can be drunk.
The vets are nothing. We're throwing around PTSD.
I know. PTSD. But that's what I'm saying. The conservatives, they're the bad people.
Yeah.
And the liberals are here, and progressives are here to save us.
No, they're the saviors.
By destroying absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just vote left. I mean, that just sounds like a good idea.
And that's
I want to be an idiot too.
And that's what it is. Emotional idiots, because it is unreal.
And I used to vote for left. I used to vote for Democrats sometimes.
Because they made sense on certain things, but now
they also didn't get. They've only been over the tops for really. It's true. I've seen it. The Obama administration is what started this whole downward spiral, because that's, if you believe the rabbit holes, that's why he was put in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, because the Republicans didn't put serious challengers up against him. Almost like they wanted this on both sides.
Yeah.
And you see how the Republican Party has crumbled and falling apart with their actions with Trump, with their speaker fights, with their not wanting to do anything as far as Republicans or conservative values. The Republican Party is dead. It's a uniparty. It definitely is a uniparty. That's why I'm saying they don't give you legitimate conservative candidates. It's a uniparty. Mm-hmm. The rhinos, the guy I listen to, and this is why I don't tell people I listen to, because as soon as they hear it's a conservative, they tune it out.
Yeah, I know.
Even though they have information, because they're right there. Yes, they have their side. Mm-hmm. But the guy I listen to, he puts leftist commentators, sites, documents, because he's like, these aren't my words. This is what your side is saying and doing. This is what your side is doing. I'm just the one telling you, and you're saying that I'm horrible and I'm not sourced right because it's coming out of my mouth and on my podcast. Mm-hmm. But he always uses their own views and their own words, and this thing has been in motion. Everyone's bought and paid for. Yeah. All the politicians hate you. Nobody cares. And the only man who's even trying to fight right now is bogged down in so many indictments and charges because, well, he's fighting.
Right.
And it's like, you can hate the man. I don't care. I'm sure he's kind of a pain in the ass to be around. I'm sure he is.
Yeah,
but he's the only one who's actually like, wait.
It's always said, if you cannot be bought or manipulated and you threaten to expose
Elon,
you will
Snowden,
be indicted.
JFK, Nixon, all of them.
You will die.
You fight back.
And it's just...
But if you're Epstein, you're protected until you're caught, and then you're killed.
Right. Because we
know when there were talks about that. She was supposedly going to drop a list, and then
I don't believe it.
Nothing ever happened. Every couple months, there's another... She's going to come forward with a bunch of names, and it's like, we already know the names. We just need them verified from someone that's actually... not credible, but someone that people will believe. Like the Me Too thing. Everybody knew Cosby was a piece of shit. Everybody knew Weinstein was a piece of shit, but it took the media telling you they were a piece of shit before you said, oh, wow, they're a piece of shit.
Well, look at R. Kelly. It took
R. Kelly.
Fucking 20 years of getting away with that stuff, and out of the 20 years, he's only facing 30 years in jail.
That's what baffles me a bit. That's why I had to take a step back, and even now...
And she got a lesser term than him.
See how frustrating it is?
Yeah.
Because it's right there.
Yeah.
None of this stuff is hidden. None of it is hidden. With social media where it's at, and Elon taking over, and us going to be able to share things, the COVID stuff, don't even get me started on that. I can't do it.
Yeah. No,
I think I'm spent. I think my load is blown.
Horrible. I am glad that I am. I have logic and I critically think about things because.
I'm glad we met each other because we kind of got each other opened up to it.
Yeah, and it's good to have conversations with people who are like us because I cannot tell you the things I see on social media, people I've met, and then I see them post stuff, like, triggers me so
and to
bad.
The transgender people, like the ones who want the whole, you have one. I hate to be graphic about it, but you do. Mm-hmm. Use it. Don't try to create your own that no one can stick their dick in.
But see,
just use the one that's there and just tuck the rest of. Why does it got to be that you have to?
It's a little bit different. It's with the.
I don't get it.
They even say it's a mental illness, the gender dysphoria.
In those very small cases, but they're putting every transgender into that case.
Oh, one of them couldn't even explain what gender dysphoria is. They
can't. Just like the intersex, they can't explain that.
They were non-binary, and the transgender person looked at them and said, "What is your gender dysphoria? For you to be categorized as transgender or be in this debate with us?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
because it's just something that. Why is it the doctors have said that before 2019, when it came to kids, like pediatricians, maybe one or two within a 20-year career they'd have to refer to a gender doctor. Yeah. Now it's like 2 and 20.
I really hate.
And they're not like 5 and 6 saying, I've never felt like a boy. It's 12-year-olds saying, I don't want to be anymore. It's not, I've always, I can't look at myself. It's, I don't want this. I want to be this. And it's 2 and 20 instead of 2 in a career. Mm-hmm. Why?
Because things are fed. The media feeds it to people, just like the media feeds the social media, news media, anything feeds us to be emotional for the wrong things. Yet we're not emotional about the food.
But yet you and I getting emotional for fighting against
we are extremists.
Yeah.
We are conspiracy theorists. We are Nazis.
And that's why my liberal friends won't want to have anything to do with me anymore because I don't bow down.
That's fine. They'll be lost.
F them. I don't care.
When Bill Gates is doing his farm food,
once they're eating the bugs,
and
they're sitting in their 15-minute city and they can't ever see anybody.
Oh hell no! I really hope that shit doesn't go.
I don't think it will here because I think you'll see a civil war unlike like what you've seen before. I hate to say it that way. It seems so simple. I couldn't come up with a grander way of saying it, but people will fight back. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff in my pantry just in case. Mm-hmm. Because I see what 2030 brings. This next year is going to be hell.
I'm really
2024 is going to be
if you think it's bad now, which most of you won't because you think everything's fine.
True.
It's going to get worse
because that man is up for election.
It's going to get worse before it gets better, and when it gets worse, some of you will cease to exist because you will realize, oh my God, and you will fall into depression, and you will, I hate to say it, unalive yourself based off because you will fall into a serious depression.
I mean, I'm thinking stuff like the new another viral pandemic, something that attacks spike proteins.
But think about it. Yeah.
Food shortages, actual food shortages.
If they actually do a lockdown, all these people are going to go into a depression. And that's the thing I hate. With all this stuff that we've talked about, they throw mental health as an issue, which mental health, yes, there is an issue, but they spin it. They spin it in such a horrible way that people who actually have mental health issues, it makes it unjust for them. Like, it doesn't validate
like
them.
Those with actual PTSD.
Yes, like you saying, I have social anxiety, PTSD, I'm indigenous. Like, how fucking rude is that? When someone who actually has PTSD, all those veterans that killed themselves in the damn parking lot of the VA.
My dad who struggled his whole life, he kept thinking he saw people in the air vents.
Yeah.
My mom couldn't let his guns be loaded by the bedside because he took one out one night and started pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
That's PTSD.
It's
your pronoun shit. It's not PTSD.
It's a joke because people are on TikTok going, I am so triggered. I have trauma. I'm so there's so much trauma right now because I was called a she and I'm a non-binary. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There are more serious things in the world that are.
Aren't you triggered because you just spent like $80 to fill up your tank of gas?
Like,
or that your rent went up 500% when your lease ended? Are you not triggered by that? You don't give a crap about that?
Remember when they were doing that in California? They were going to give you a discount or give you $500 if you're transgender in California to go towards rent. And, like, people were, like, joking around, putting wigs on. And the men were, like, putting wigs on. And I was like, that's not funny. There are people who actually need this money.
Instead, they made 14-year-olds legal to have sex with a 24-year-old. Yeah. Only if it's oral and anal, because we got to make it LGBT-friendly. Crime has to be LGBT friendly, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what Candace Owens says. Like, crimes are no longer. It's like not a crime if you throw out, I have mental health issues. This whole series that she did, people are like, oh, well, he's mentally challenged. He doesn't know any better. Bull fucking shit. Yeah. People who are mentally challenged still know what's good, what's right and wrong. Oh, they were influenced by their friends. So that's an excuse.
My sister, she doesn't go around hurting people and stabbing people, and
that's what I'm saying. They're throwing it as an excuse, and they're like, well, they didn't know any better. What the fuck do you mean they didn't know any better? There are people who, the damn government, look at the government, they know better and they get away with murder.
Literal.
So it's just
about
like,
1 million murders over the last 3 years.
How could you say that? All the evidence in front of you, and it's all there, and they're like, no, they had it out for them because they were mentally challenged. What?
I'm at a point where anyone I know or just read like the video, I just immediately shut it down. I don't take them seriously because I know that they have nothing.
No.
There's nothing.
It's embarrassing,
they have no substance and they don't know what they're doing, what they're talking about.
I literally cringe when I hear these people supporting like the worst person in the world, and I'm all like I saw you would be okay in a room with this person?
Social media, I saw a Palestinian flag on I was like, I can't take you serious anymore.
That kid wearing the I don't know what it is, I'm sorry, but the shawl that the people in Israel wear, and he's like, I'm
the Queers for Palestine.
No, right? I'm with Israel, and I consider myself what do they call themselves?
Which ones? There's two
people
of them.
In Israel.
Because Palestinians, there's no Palestine, first of all. There's no such thing. Palestinians are one of the tribes of Israel. They're all kind of the same people. So there's Israelites, there's Jews, in which there's
an Israelite.
There's 12 tribes, so which there's there's different ones, and Palestinians are a member of that, but nobody wants them. Not Jordan, not Egypt, not anyone else.
It's always been an issue.
And they're like, free Palestine. It's like, there's no fucking Palestine, you idiots. It's like, I stand with Palestine. There's no such thing. I can't take you serious. There's Palestinian people that have decided to let Hamas and the terrorist group run them, use their schools and hospitals, and take out their water pipes to use as rocket launchers to kill Jews, because that's in their charter. It's written there in their charter.
Could you believe that all those people supporting Hamas?
That's what I'm saying.
The American people supporting Hamas.
Well, you support yes, there are innocents. There's always innocents that's going to get lost in this. Always. We went to Vietnam. Innocents died. We went to Iraq. Innocents died. We went to Korea. Innocents died. Because our enemies used innocents as shelter and as bodyguards. The Hamas people, they put their bunkers under hospitals.
Yep.
Knowing, they're not going to do anything about it. So when Israel right now goes in and surgically is removing them ground forces, it's genocide. Good. Take all the Hamas people out. Good. Because what are they chanting when they're not being taken out? Death to America.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Support them.
Yeah.
And liberals. Okay. Yeah. That's about all I got now.
I just think it's ridiculous how ass backwards some of you guys think, and like you think you're doing a good job and you're not.
Queers for Palestine. They will behead you. They said homosexuality. They said homosexuality is what was the word they used? An abomination. It's an abomination. They believe homosexuality. To these people, not all of Islam, not the Quran, to these people, homosexuals are an abomination.
They're standing right there with their rainbow flag, and
they will cut that rainbow flag up, and they will dismember you, set it all on fire, and drag it down the street, and dance over your body, and say Allah Akbar. They will.
Well, you know what? Do it, because those people shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. Those are the people that are causing issues.
Maybe if there's less people who just don't care, then.
And if you support that, then you understand the concept. Well, no, I shouldn't, because you're not understanding. The government, when they need to take out one person, they don't care if they take out a group of people.
Or say, like I said, a million.
To take out that one person.
Or say 1 million between, let's see, April or May of 2020 until 2023. They don't care how many people die as long as they shut down and don't
Why do you think they allow this?
Yeah.
Why do you think they allow this?
And soon
Especially with what happened in the Capitol.
Soon we'll be eating these easy bugs.
Yeah. That's why Angelina Jolie taught her kids to eat bugs. which is part of the culture.
She's in the New World Order.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
They bought and paid for it. Why do you think they get success? I believe they sell their souls to be successful.
Absolutely, yes.
They sell their soul, saying, and the movie industries and the people backing them say, that person, make them a star. Yeah. Transform them, make them a star. Katy Perry, all of the symbolism that started everything.
She went totally.
When she went from just
from 1 minute to the next,
a gospel singer, and she's like, and then she went symbol and Russell Brand because he got caught up in it.
Yep.
And then. And Russell Brand's like, I'm out, peace, I'm not doing this. And now he's speaking out, and what happens when you speak out? Yeah. Now Rumble has him, so he's every day he posts. Good. He's got his show every day.
We follow him on Instagram, so...
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter and everything.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just too much. This is why we step away, but I'm glad that I still watch what I watch because it makes me feel less crazy. Because of what's surrounded by us is a bunch of emotion and just
sometimes
things.
Sometimes I think, am I sure am I not seeing something, or am I seeing something I want to see? And then I go on my Red Pill channel and I go on this stuff and I read the stuff and I'm like, no. And we didn't even touch on the Biden corruption and all the bribes and checks they've been finding. We haven't even touched on stuff like that. We will, and it's sad because you guys know it's happening, but you just go. So many people.
Spam.
And even
I'll take my spam.
And even what's wrong with that? It's Boston today. I went to Costco. I got some spam.
The price of spam went up. Everything's gone up. I feel like they downsized the package and they raised the price. Well, no.
Well, it's the same size, but still. I went today and normally I spend about $210, $212. Today I spent $310.
Oh God.
And I got a little bit more. But I got my emergency food. I got my water packets. I got my iodine pills. I got all kind of stuff. I just need a generator and a hot plate, and I'm good to go. And I got my 5-gallon gas kink.
If it comes to that, I'm burning everything. Created a fire in the house and cook like that.
I got so much toilet paper, it's insane.
Oh, that's the other thing. We went to Costco recently, and the toilet paper that we specifically buy, there's only like 4 left, and all the other toilet paper was available, but not that one. I'm like, oh God, here we go again.
They're trying.
Yeah.
COVID is trying.
Yeah.
But I saw on my Bing, I see the top hot spots for COVID. It's like, there is no hot spot, you idiot. Thankfully, the stock prices for Pfizer and Moderna are tanking because no one's buying this one.
Didn't Pfizer get recently called out and there's a lawsuit for them?
There's always lawsuits circulating for them, but
I could have sworn now for the vaccines.
I'll look it up.
Unless I misheard, but
there's because of where the funding came from, research the manipulate. There's several different.
There was manipulation of the vaccine that actually did absolutely
nothing.
Hiding
results. The saline and the tests. There's different batches.
Yes.
And they found that certain batches had more of a case of.
Oh, I pray to God I had the saline one because I was the only one without side effects.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody of power and position and influence took the nothing.
I really hope that's what I got because
I
had no side effects.
If you or you guys think that any politician took a real vaccine,
no,
you're then again you're not paying attention.
Or there's a possibility that they did, and look at what happened. Jamie Foxx.
No, he's that celebrity. That's different, and he fought it. So it's like we'll give him this batch. But do you think like Pelosi or Biden or any of them took like real?
Oh Jesus! Pelosi's still alive?
Yeah, she got kicked out of her office though. Finally, the new speaker. There's another office she was using. They were just letting her use.
She used to go to her house with all the ice cream.
Her and her husband just need to go. Just keep entertaining guys with hammers.
And he is such a closet gay.
I was gonna say, just keep hosting your hammer parties, and maybe one of these guys will succeed. Which again, another thing that just disappeared from the radar. Yep. Him with a young girl disappeared off the radar. Anytime they do something, it just disappears.
Something will always distract. Something always will distract. I'm just waiting to see what it is.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm sitting
waiting. Right now it's Israel and Hamas. They do this every once in a while, though. They fight back and forth. It's just this one was worse because of the music festival and what they did to children and women and cutting people up and burning them alive and going door to door. But it's okay, liberals. Support it. Support genocide. I mean, you hate Nazis and you don't want any Nazi comparison, but, support this because, you're stupid. Sorry. Okay, that's it for now.
You all stay safe and stay awake.
Yeah. Say anything you want to say bye?